Good afternoon. This is your host, Christopher Michael Curtis Bone, on this afternoon edition of Fire of Liberty as we continue to lead, accelerate, and venture forward into this Renaissance on planet Earth as we grow, develop, and transcend into this beautiful golden age where not only miracles abound, but all sorts of levels of expansion and limitlessness that already existed in the total unity and oneness that we already exist with and exist a part of and exist, of course, one as already have the ability and, of course, the knowledge and intuition and characterability and character, insight, and pretty much the willingness and, most importantly, the courage to take forth this metaphorical step to be able to do any types of magnificent, beautiful types of evolutionary changes as we evolve, co-create, and therefore expand, very similar to what it's like to be in what we are now, which is a Type 49 civilization, able to have the output, which, and of course moving on to a Type 50 civilization with the power output, able to harness and output the power of energy from 10 to the power of 506. It's at the power output of 496, but we're able to ultimately have that type of wonderful fruition and imaginative power and rejuvenative power, which allows us to be building and built a part of the structure, which also comes from the aura, but also comes from the ultimately the unity, which was already devised from the many different types of what we can call structures or coalesced, actual, detailed for example, like a fluid dodecahedrons, which are not only expandable in their own types of marvelous co-creative universes, but they're able to output, once again, a lot of energy on many, many magnitude. Once again, due to the limitlessness of manifestation, creation, and the ability to put out magnificent will, of course, and the grandeur of elevation of the benevolent factor, which of course continues to enhance and change and manifest creation on a very positive, peaceful level throughout all that is. And so we're able to, of course, have this Type 500 civilization, and continue to manifest at an extraordinary level. And the very fantastic thing is one thing is what we use is numbers. It's very, very interesting. Already explained before was how numbers are. It was broken down very, very well, and I'm gonna actually read this excerpt. I'm gonna search for it right here, and it does a very, very good explanation, but about the infinity that involves number and how we can think consecutively, and it's very unique in numbers and letters itself, and the creation of language, and how we use it to how we use to communicate and basically transfer information, transfer thoughts, transfer once again not only that wonderful basis, but now we have which is of course compound. We already understand that, which is already being developed in many, many forms of which of course I already say comes out, but it's even more advancing and extraordinary and of course positive when we realize, of course, the wonderful, beautiful, revolutionary understanding of unified field of physics, proving what was already known when it comes to the energy that thoughts have, for example, magnetic pull and push, and as well as the auras, the human body, how you can heal, for example, healing with auras or affect the body with auras, and it's already been done, for example, knowingly, quote, and unknowingly, but that's ultimately, regardless, is a very peaceful understanding because, of course, it allows us to grow and develop because of, one, the knowledge and the wisdom that it gains, and therefore because that example allows us, of course, to grow and see it as a positive. Of course, it's a very, very, very grand positive change of things, and that's ultimately the very beautiful fruition of what we're supposed to live in, and do live in, and continue to live and exist in. But the unlimitedness that exists in, of course, what is the unlimited abundance, which is one of the grandest resources, which is the mind, which is able to create inventions, is able to ultimately be able to already have the capability and pretty much learnability to be able to not only develop, which has already been done, for example, in various multiple advanced civilizations all over, which we're already a part of, and which one we already are, but to, of course, develop, enhance, and then, of course, accelerate in many peaceful, positive ways, which is ultimately living in eternal bliss, is these wonderful natural abilities that we all have, from clairvoyance, clairsentience, omniscience to telepathy, teleportation by location, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, hydrokinesis, to many different forms and abilities of vision change, vision ability from what's termed as X-ray vision, or able to see auras, or able to see more spectrums of color, to be able to actually build, mold, and do manifestation, for example, instant manifestation, creation ultimately, and to, basically continue to do that. I mean, of course, what's already been reiterated is the mind is unlimited, so of course it comes with physical strength as well as mental strength and aptitude, super increase, and of course there's already many grand examples of, for example, extraterrestrial civilizations who have very, very large IQs, but that's just one example. But of course, understanding the type of omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence as an existence, and the connection of what we all are, and to have, and to be, and to create, and to manifest, and to build, and then to have a sense, responsibility, and of course to continue to lead, treasure, and continue to delegate, and of course be the best that we can be, and put forth, of course, our. And so one of the great things is bringing you back to the wonderful key thing that allows us to be able to know what we know, and speak and communicate how we communicate with very strong aspects, and much gratitude to the English language, to the language in general, Chinese to Japanese, Korean characters, the Sanskrit, to all different languages, written languages have their types of, and same thing with the type of, for example, communication that exists with the Arcturians, and of course the examples are limitless, and this has already been reiterated, but the beauty of it, of course, is what allows us to continue to transcend, learn, evolve, and expand with universal unity consciousness, and the limitless expansion of unity consciousness being a part of all that is. This should be the excerpt I'm about to. I'll break it down in another context to really help describe and portray and exemplify the beauty of one we are, and the unity that we always have been, and also what we want to become, and that which we already. So, Of course, the fantastic history which already been reiterated with many different types of, for example, the transportational aspects that were invented many ages ago, but I digress. Vedic civilizations and celestials. I already touched on it, and it's already reiterated in, for example, the many different types of books, such as the books of Enoch. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host. I shall end this here. And once again, there is no end. Grandly accelerated and continues in peace, love, and joy. I love you all.